Welcome again, everybody. In this second part of the video for another different modeling levels example, we will discuss higher level modeling for the same problems. So we are still in the problem of the cooling of a fluid flowing in a circular pipe. In the previous video, we have discussed this level 1, where as we can see in here, we assume that there is a turbulent flow in here. So this simplifies the problem because the velocity profile will be the same across the radial directions. So they all have the plug flow shape. So the level 1, which is the plug flow shape model, basically belonging to the same, I would say the level 2 model of the problem of the heat removal from bed of a hot solvent by immersing steel rods. So we are dealing now with the level 2. So I give the figure of this level 1 to give a comparison so that you can be clear of when we change the assumptions and we go into the relax some of the easier assumptions, then we will have to deal with the more complicated modeling. Okay, in level 2, because the flow is no longer a turbulent, instead this becomes a laminar flow, then we have a different velocity profile for the liquid that flows through the pipe. It becomes a parabolic profile. So this level 2 is what we call a parabolic velocity model in here. Okay. Everything else is the same, but as you can see in here, the main difference is that the fluid element now has a totally different shape. It becomes a ring shape element in here, whereas in here we have a thin cylinder shape fluid element. Then you may ask why now. Then we have to connect back to the assumptions that we discussed earlier for the level 1 and level 2. Okay, so in here we would like to relax or modify the assumptions of the turbulent flow conditions such that the these features are in effect. So the first things is that the flow is not turbulent. So when the flow is not turbulent, then we have basically a slower flow. So this implies that the Reynolds number will be less than 2100. So this one is normally the velocity, and then this d is normally the tube diameter. Okay, and then this one is basically the kinematic viscosity. On V in here is normally viscosity divided by the density. Okay, and Reynolds number in here is a dimensionless number as well. So because the velocity is no longer plug shape, it becomes a parabolic velocity profile and can be described by these particular equations in here, where the velocity at a particular the velocity of in the z the z in here, the subscript in here, is basically indicating the directions of the velocity. So as you can see in the tube in here, you have two directions. Okay, the z directions and the r directions. We only have a flow in the z directions. Okay, that's why this comes with the vz. Okay, but the velocity in the z directions in here varies as a function of the radius in here. Okay, because at the radius 0, the velocity is the largest. Okay, and at the wall in here, the velocity in the z directions becomes 0. Okay, so these equations in here basically describe best this parabolic velocity profile. And then the next assumption is that the fluid is not well mixed in the radial direction. So instead, unlike the first example in here, where we basically ignore the heat transport in the radial directions, okay, in here we cannot. We have to take into account the heat in the radial direction as it implied by this closer look at the fluid element implied by these particular sections in here. Okay, so these particular sections in here give you a closer look into this shell element in here, where we basically cut the shell elements in here into two. Okay, and we can see that there are different heat transport. So heat transport in the r directions, and then the heat transport in the axial directions. Okay, And then we have this one is a convective contribution. This one is the molecular or the heat conduction contributions. Okay, in the radial directions, we are only dealing with the heat conduction contribution because there is no bulk flow in the radial direction. Therefore, we come up with the next assumption. So the axial heat conductions may also be important because the convection becomes smaller than that in the level 1 plug flow model case. Okay, so again we go and look again in this particular figure. We see that we have now a parabolic velocity profile. So because that there is heat transport in both the radial directions and in both the axial direction, that means the temperature is no longer a function of Z. So the temperature becomes a function of the Z and R in here. Okay, so that's why we have a ring-shaped fluid element in here in order to account for the heat transport in the radial directions and the heat transport in the axial directions. In this case, on the other hand, because the velocity is the same in the radial direction, so it's not a function of the radial directions, then we simply get that the temperature is only a function of the Z. That's why we have the thin cylindrical shape in this particular level. And then in this particular level, we have a ring-shaped fluid element. When we have a ring-shaped fluid element, means we have to consider the distributions of the temperature and the velocity in the radial and axial direction. So it will be complicated. We will have essentially instead of the ordinary differential equation, we will have a partial differential equation as what we will show soon. Okay, so after we go into establishing the fluid elements, then now we can start with the steady state heat and energy balance on the ring fluid element. We don't want to account for the effect of the accumulation, so we simply assume that we are dealing with the steady state condition. So meaning that the accumulations will be 0 for this particular scenario. Okay, so after establishing everything in here, now we can start with the first term is the convective heat flow in. So this refers to this particular term in here. Okay, and then we have this term in here is the convective heat flow out. And then we have this term in here is basically the axial conductive heat flow in. And then for this term we have axial conductive heat flow out. Okay, and then this term in here refers to the radial conductive heat flow in. This term in here refers to the radial conductive heat flow out. Okay, what do I mean by these terms in here? So the radial conductive heat flow in is basically this term in here. Okay, this is the radial conductive heat flow in. This is the radial conductive heat flow out. And then the axial conductive heat flow in is this term in here. The axial conductive heat flow out is this term in here. Okay, and then the radial conductive heat flow in is this. The radial conductive heat flow out is that one. So based on that particular figures in there, then we can go and figure out the terms. So that will be the velocity multiplied by the area. So again, for this conductive heat flow in, if you go back into the original shell elements like this, right? So this will be the ring shell elements. since the conductive heat flow in here operates in this particular directions in here, so the area that are interested is this particular area. So this particular area is 2 pi r delta r. Okay, convective heat flow out also have the same area in here, which is this particular area in here. Okay, axial conductive heat flow is also the same area, again the same area. The radial conductive heat flow out on the other hand is operating on a different area. So you can see that it's operating on this particular area in here. Okay, because its direction is like this. Okay, so this thickness in here is basically a delta z, and then the circumference in here will be r, so this will be 2 pi r delta z, whereas the volume in here is 2 pi r delta r. Okay, you can also go with basically deriving this one. So if you imagine that you have the outer circle that has the dimensions of r plus delta r, and then the inner circle with the diameter of r, then the area in here is simply the subtractions of the pi r plus delta r square minus pi r square. Okay, so if you do this correctly in here, so that will be a pi r square plus 2 r delta r plus delta r square minus pi r square. So you will have a 2 pi r delta r, pi r square plus, and then plus pi delta r square minus pi r square. So this one will be scrapped with this one, and then this term in here can be neglected with respect to this one. That's why you have this 2 pi r delta r. Okay, so it's important that we check where the heat flux operates, and then identify the area where that heat flux operates on. But now what is important is we also need to check the unit for this. Okay, like what we did in the previous example, but I will not go into the detail in here, except I will just go and then cancel all the units in here to see that basically the whole equations in here have a unit of joule per second. Okay, so this axial conductive heat flow is the same. It will be meter square, that will be joule per second, meter square. So this one will be cancelled with this one, and then likewise with the radial conductive heat flow in, that will be the same with the unit will be the same with the out one. Okay, so this will be joule per second. Okay, so then once we continue with that, we can divide that particular terms in there by 2 pi delta r delta z, and if we do so, we will end up with this particular terms in here. Okay, and then we can simply get this particular terms in here, which we can then this terms in here is basically equal with this term in here. Okay, except that we want to change that larger term in front of the smaller term in here in order for us to use the derivative definitions. And then as we take the limit of the delta z and delta r equal to 0, then we will have minus Vz pro Cp r del t over del z. Okay, this terms in here will basically be converted into, or if I put in the red term in here, okay, as delta z is equal 0, then these terms in here will become del t over del z, right? And then we have the second term is del r q z over del z in here. Okay, and then minus del r qr over del r equal 0. The reason that we use a del in here instead of dz is because we have two different independent variables. Okay, So that's why we are using del z. So this becomes a partial derivative term in here. Okay, then we continue again. We can get that minus Vz rho Cp r del t over del z minus r. So the r in here can be taken out of that derivative term. Okay, del r qr over del r equal to 0. Then you may ask why. So this can be taken out because r can be separated from qz since qz is not a function of r. Okay, then we continue in here. Then this will be divided by, let's divide that term by r. Okay, once we divide by r, then we will have minus Vz rho Cp del t over del z minus del qz per del z minus 1 over r del r qr divided by delta r is equal 0. Okay, so minus del qz over del z minus 1 over r del r qr for del r equal to Vz rho Cp del t over del z. Now let's assume that qr is equal to minus k del t over del r. Okay, and then the qz is equal minus k del t over del z. So we have been taking that the k in here is basically isotropic. It does not it's basically a constant. Okay, then by substituting these two equations, so we plug in that qr and qz minus del over del z minus k del t over del z minus 1 over r del per del r minus kr del t over del r is equal to Vz rho Cp del t over del z. Okay, in here we can scrap this negative with this negative. Okay, they become positive. And then note that Vz in here is equal to 2 V naught 1 minus r over capital R. Okay, and then r over r will be squared. Okay, then we will have this particular expressions in here. Okay, then our final solution will be having a form of something like this. So I can put in a red boundaries in here to show that this is the final equation. As you can show in here, then the final expression for this model will be much more complex than the differential equations that we obtain from the plug flow model. So by increasing the level of hierarchy of the modeling, then we know that the model becomes much more complex. So I hope that this give an overview into another example for the different modeling levels. Um, I think I will conclude this video in here. Thank you for listening.